The stage microphone's ready for him. Who wants to ask the first question? Raise a hand, and I don't think he'll be shy to answer.
I know, you got to check yourself. Hi, everyone. Remember me?
Man, nice to see you happy this year.
It's actually nice to be happy. It's fun to be happy, believe it or not.
So all that went on, and now you're looking towards going to Florida and getting the season started with a new format and everything else like that. What is the big thing on your mind with all that change?
Well, a lot of thought, really goes into to the new season with a new life, right? A new chance, new crack at bat, new manufacturer, new sponsors, new teammates, in a new organization. But what an unbelievable opportunity it is to go out and do what you love to do. Not only do that, but do it in first class equipment with built by racers that only share one thing in common: the will to go out and win races. I mean, that's all they do. It's all they focus on. It's all they talk about. It's all they care about. There's no. I just said it to somebody in there. There's no fluff and buff. There's no sales pitch when you walk in the door. There's just guys with their heads down working and digging on building race cars that go fast and win races. And those are the hot rides you want to be in.
Absolutely. Kenny Bruce.
Kenny Bruce with NASCAR.com. Clint, with all the talk about the changes to the format with the points and segments and everything, do you pay attention to that, or are you just more focused on, I'm going to go out there and race and you guys tell me what's going on?
I think as we go to the Daytona 500, you have winning the Daytona 500 on your mind for weeks, months, right? That's all you're thinking about is that last lap, and situation to push yourself to win that race, because that's what makes careers. That one race will make your career and solidify you in a sport forever. You're not going to see that. You're not going to see me going for broke, to win that first stage. I don't care to be the first winner of stage one. However, if I find myself in this Yates horsepower up front and running where I want to run, I just might be the first stage winner. But I think you're really going to see that as we progress through the year. Obviously, the sense of urgency as teams look over their shoulder that may or may not have been able to capitalize on those stage wins, to look over at that little tally on the side of your screen and say, "Oh my, I'm in trouble." Starting the playoffs, I'm going to be way behind if I don't go out and get some of these stage wins, and that's where I think the sparks are going to fly and the electricity is really going to vamp up. Not saying that that's not going to happen early, but I think it's going to really, really show its ugly face, or be a huge gain for you if you have those and have accumulated quite a few of those over the regular season. So let me go on record. This isn't a sales pitch. I've said for years, I believe it's time to look at some sort of an opportunity to break these races up. Not a big fan of long runs, and I know fans aren't either. I'm really happy that NASCAR looked at that, decided to make a move, a very bold move, and change that. And then also take the time to look in depth of any kind of possible, if you're going to make that change, look into it. Let's make sure that we cover all the bases. Let's do it right. Is there any possible thing anything else that we need to do different? And I like that, protecting that team or teams that dominated the season. And we've seen even dominated the chase in years past that didn't come out, victorious in the championship because of a blown tire or something out of their control. I felt like that needed tweaked a little bit, and I'm glad that they took the chance of creating these stages in the race that are going to give us the excitement and a follow to accumulate those points and put it to good use when we get into the playoffs and the meat of our series. So it isn't a sales pitch. I think that was a much needed thing, and I think they nailed it. They really did a good job of making sure they covered all the bases so we don't have to do this again for many years to come.
Stan Creekmore's got a question.
Stan Creekmore with Outside the Box. Not Daytona because it's the first race of the season, not Kansas because that's where you're from. What other track are you really anxious to get to now that you're going to be in a car that I'm sure you're confident can win?
You know, I've ran really well at Martinsville several times. I thought where we were the fastest car there, even a few times, and you know, especially like in 12 and 13. You know, and I really enjoyed that racetrack. Look forward to it every year, and it's one track that I feel like I can win at, and win at. You know, if the equipment's underneath me and we make good calls and I make good decisions to take care of the car on the racetrack, I feel like that's a track where we can win and bring one of them clocks home.
Fadden.
Daniel McFadden with NBC Sports. Clint, with everything that you've been through in the last 3 or 4 years, what will it mean to you if and when you win a race again this season?
Well, I mean, hey, let's face it. You're not given anything in this series. This is extremely competitive and very challenging, very difficult situation to win these races in. You're only as good as the people around you, and everybody at Stewart-Haas. Tony and Gene have surrounded me with great people, starting with Booga, my crew chief, to you know, to my teammates, to the sponsors. Everything at Stewart-Haas is lined up to win races and all in to do so, to switching to Fords this year. No other manufacturer has pushed harder to have success in motorsports this year than Ford has. It's not only a push in NASCAR, it's a push all over motorsports. So you got to associate yourself with those good people that are all in for winning races, and that gives you confidence that you can go out and win races. And will it be special? You're damn right it will. And I'll embrace it, but it's just like the last time I won a race. You head to the next race wanting to win that one. You know, I mean, success only once you know makes you hungry for more success, and it's been a while, you know. But more importantly, I want to get established as a consistent front runner, not a sporadic show up and run good here and be bad the next week. I mean, we've got to get consistent week in and week out and perfect that and keep perfecting it, and then you'll win races.
Holly.
Holly K, NASCAR.com. Hey, Clint, could you talk a little bit about your relationship with Tony and how it is actually now you finally get to, you know, work right alongside him? Are you guys, you know, just your relationship together and how you two get along?
You know, I think we get along really well. You know, he's a really good owner. You know, that was the side of Tony that I didn't know. He obviously is a lot of fun to be around as a race car driver, and as Tony Stewart, you know, as Smoke. But as an owner, I really watched him, you know, over the off season, in particular the Christmas party. I went down to the Christmas party, the company Christmas party, and I look over and Santa Claus is there. And then I got to looking a little closer, and it's Tony. Tony is Santa Claus, which, by the way, he fit perfectly into the outfit. I mean, it was like it was tailored to him. But nonetheless, it was old Jolly St. Nick, Tony Stewart, that really took the time and walked all around and you know, embraced his employees and thanked his employees and made them feel like their family, you know, like you wanted him to do and like you hoped that he would be. And that was every bit the role he played in ownership at Stewart-Haas from what I saw of him as an owner. And then as an owner of my car and my boss, right, he's given me a great deal of confidence of putting me in that race car, as has, you know, Gene Haas. I mean, people have asked me today, you know, how do you have the confidence to get back, you know, to where you need to be? And that's it. I mean, that's all the confidence you need is you have a 3-time champion of the sport and a big-time owner in motorsports that had the confidence in you to put you in the thing. So that gave me all the confidence I needed to be behind the wheel.
Final question, David?
Clint, David Scott from the Charlotte Observer. Hey. How did Dale Jr.'s situation last year maybe change how you view concussions and how severe they can be and how it might affect, you know, if you had one going forward?
Well, I think I have, but if you've ever taken a concussion test, you'd swear you left there with a concussion. They're hard. But, nonetheless, the serious answer is it is a very serious thing, and it's a scary thing because you really just don't know enough about them. I mean, I grew up racing motorcycles. I've slapped my head on the ground. I was pretty sure, I had a concussion. I've woke up with the guy letting your winning that down, screaming at you, "Are you okay?" And it zones in, and what you thought was 10 guys is actually just one big guy. But the reality is that is real, right? And Dale's been doing this a long time, a lot longer than I have. He's had a lot of bad wrecks, and everybody's different. That's the only thing I really know of it. You watch these football games, in the off season. I've really had a chance to watch the football games and things like that. And I really do believe that everybody's different on how they react to them, and not everybody has the same, impacts or the same crashes, or some people are more fortunate than others, But for me personally, I think you'll know, when you're not good, and you don't need to be in that race car. And certainly talking to him, there was no question in his mind. He didn't need to be in that race car. So, as big of dominant force he is in this sport, and what he means to this sport, I thought it showed, just how serious a concussion can be. And I'm glad that he spoke up and said, "Hey, I got a problem and I need to get out," for all of our sakes.
Thanks, Clint. We've got our
We're going to
time.
end it on that.
Yeah, we're going to end it on
Debbie
that.
Downer.
Well, Pope wanted to
This
ask
is a
you a
new
question.
year for
If
me,
you're
and we're
hanging
gonna end
out,
it with
Thomas
Dale
will
Jr.
ask you a cool question.
Just ask me something.
There you go. Ask him something good. Ask him about his dirt cars or
I think
something.
I'll ask him.
Oh, I know what you're fixing to ask him.
Clint, when you change manufacturers, does it necessitate a change of manufacturers for your dirt team? And how do you think your guys will fare this season on the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series?
Well, let me tell you, you want to be surrounded with people that are all in and invested in racing and motorsports. And I just said a little bit ago, Ford, there's no other manufacturer that is pushing harder in 2017 to have more success on the racetrack than Ford. So very, very excited about that. And, as far as the dirt teams, those are the first, that's what kicks off my racing season, is down there in Speed Weeks, starting at Golden Isles and then down to East Bay and then Volusia. So get a good chance to watch the dirt guys. Hopefully they're kicking butt. Been invested in and working hard, and those guys' success too. So it's going to be a fun year. Thank you guys for covering the sport, and hopefully see you a lot soon.
See, you got to talk about Real Deal
Yes.
Club 29.
Sorry.
That's not bad. Thank you. Clint Bowyer.
Are we done?